kind of a face is that? Oh, welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including what's going on with John Wick 5, an Elon Musk movie. Who the heck is Elon Musk? I don't know. Denis Villeneuve talks about a Cleopatra movie. Highlander gets an update. We got actually a bunch of whole slate of movies of the release dates getting shifted and stuff. We'll talk about that because of the actor strike now being done. Things will get the ball rolling again, right? Up in the industry. We talk about what's opening up this week, including my Marvels review. My review for the Marvels. The Marvels arrives. Indeed, it's here. It's now. And are people going to go out and see it? Well, I hope so, because I kind of enjoyed the movie. It's kind of weird. But we start off today's show by talking about that trailer for The Last Airbender. Now, guys, I got to be brutally honest with you here. And I'm going to tell you this straight up to let you know where I'm coming at. I never grew up with The Last Airbender. I've got no stake in this game. For me, I watched the trailer. It's going to be on Netflix. It's a teaser. It teases stuff. I don't know who any of the characters are. I don't know who's supposed to be who. So I see this guy and I'm like, okay, I don't know who he is. I'm not in the crowd of going, oh my God, look at that. That looks so great. That looks like they've actually done it right. I can't tell you if they've done it right or not. Because when I saw the M. Night Shyamalan version, I was kind of like, it was a movie. Was it a very good movie? No. I guess it didn't represent the lore that it was based on, the source material. From what I can see from people's comments about this, was that it seems to be following some of the source material a bit. People they're not outraged by it just yet. It looks grandiose in scope, like that looks fantastic, right? Then it just goes on to show me a whole bunch of symbols that I don't know what the symbols mean. I'm guessing it means the different elements like air, earth, and stuff like that, fire. It's epic, it's big. I appreciate it for that. It's going to be on Netflix. I guess I'll try to watch the first episode with you guys February 22nd next year. Looks better than I expected, but anyone else wish we could just get another animated sequel? Yeah, so this is one that maybe doesn't transcend to live action as much as people think. A lot of anime doesn't. I mean, look at what happened with Ghost in the Shell with my ScarJo. This doesn't translate over to live action because it's a different style, right? This looks so good. I'm very excited for the show. First One Piece, now Avatar. Netflix is listening to fans. So people, and you guys, if you follow us on Twitch, then you saw that we watched the first 2 episodes of One Piece, and I tapped out. I was like, no. Sorry, guys, I can't do it no more. It's too much of the why are you smiling? Why are you smiling all the time? Yeah, I didn't like that. So, but because that's the style of the animation, and that doesn't translate for me over onto live action. Artglass says, I watched the first Airbender movie with Dev Patel and the bad guy nephew. It was okay, but forgettable. It did introduce me to one actress, though. One of the actresses who played. She was one of the Blue. She was from the Blue. At least the Shyamalan version. She played one of the Blue. Was she blonde or something? I can't remember. Yeah. And then she went on to be in the Transformers movie or something too, right? Anyway, I don't know. Remember. This looks. I don't know, man. I know people want me to say, oh, it looks so epic. Look at that. It's a mountain that's a volcano. It's blowing up. It means they're doing it right. I couldn't tell you the truth if it's doing it right or wrong. I mean, it looks... People were hyped about the M. Night Shyamalan version too when they saw some of the first stuff. And then when they saw how it actually all panned out and played out, they were like, eeh. So I don't know. We'll see if this has the same fate I don't know if it will or not. But it is the talk of town. I just wanted to let you know how or what I felt about it. Okay. All right. So let's get my review for the Marvels out of the way first. And then we'll talk about where it's going to fit for the in the weekend. It's going to be number one probably. Yeah. All right. Let me reset. The Marvels opens up this weekend, guys, and here's my quick movie review for it. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe it. I think I like this movie. Now, I agree that it's not the greatest movie. It's not going to be one of the best in the MCU, but it's nowhere near as terrible as some people will have you believe it. All right, The Marvels. Synopsis reads, Carol Danvers gets her powers entangled with those of Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau, forcing them to work together to save the universe. Now, I watched the trailers for this, and I was kind of like, okay, Captain Marvel 2 is now being transformed into the Marvels, but it's not Captain Marvel 2. It's really, yes, it's about the Marvels. Captain Marvel's just a character in this story. And if you wanted to have a Captain Marvel 2 story, this isn't it. So I think they did it properly by not naming it Captain Marvel 2. It's just, for seeing her second movie out, I think people would have preferred to have seen a Captain Marvel 2. It's kind of hard to do now that you've got Miss Marvel and whatever Monica Rambeau is going to be. Professor Marvel or something. Did they ever name her in the movie? I don't know. I'll tell you this. I like Brie Larson in this movie a lot more than I did in the first movie. I think she's way better than that. And she proves her acting abilities as well. Actually, all of them do. Tiona Paris has a really good moment in the post-credit scene. Iman Vellani, is that how you pronounce that? As Miss Marvel. She's also really great. And recently we did a Grumpy Man Reacts of all 6 Miss Marvel episodes to the lead up to the Marvels. And now we've gone down the road to the Marvels. The Marvels is here. And I was kind of like, I saw some of the early reactions from people that I trust saying, this is a terrible movie. This is one of the worst MCU movies out there. And I went into it with that kind of mentality, braced for utter kind of just bad movie telling, and it wasn't there. I was like, okay, well, where are these bad jokes? Where's this bad dialogue that I'm waiting to hear? Does it have some silly moments that happen in it? Yes, but it's kind of like, yeah, that happened. The bad guy, played by Zawe Ashton. I liked her as the villain. But yes, they make the egregious mistake of having her just be a one-off villain. Why can't we have her be somebody who grows in the bad guy atmosphere in the MCU movies? Why can't we have that? Marvel has to stop this. They've got to stop having these one-off villains that mean nothing, and not have them come back in some kind of weird MODOK, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania type way. People don't want that, because she did a great job in the fact that anytime that she was on the screen, you were like, I want to know more about her. I want to learn more about her. What's she doing? And she's like, again, one of those villains where you can understand why she's doing what she's doing. And there's the potential there for her to become, like, if you give her more rope to work with, then she'll be up there as one of the better villains of the MCU. But it's kind of like, just like so many other throwaway villains, it's just like, it's a one and done kind of thing, and it sucks. Yeah, this is the part. We see this in the trailers. This is the part of the movie where people will be like, ugh, what are you doing? But I kind of expected weirdness in this type of a movie because it is cosmic. So I felt like this almost felt kind of true to what it was all about. The chemistry between the three, Fiona Paris, Brie Larson, and Iman Vellani, it worked. You wanted to see more of that team, but it definitely wasn't Captain Marvel's movie. Um, it was all three of them. Now, I said this straight up off the bat too. If you haven't watched Miss Marvel, then you won't know who she is or what the bangle, what that means, right? You won't have that appreciation. Luckily, because I did do my homework, I was caught up to date. And I could totally understand that if you didn't watch WandaVision, you don't know who Tiona Paris is Monica Rambeau, you don't know who Miss Marvel is, this movie didn't do a very good job of explaining to you who they are and what their powers were. They do talk about it. They do say that, oh, I went through a witch's shield and now I've got these powers. They do talk about it, but it doesn't, I don't know if it'll have that kind of like, oh, factor. It'll be kind of like, it feels like an afterthought in the movie. Maybe that's just the way that I perceived it. I'm curious to see what other people are saying about this. We'll take a look at the tomato meter here in a second, but let's get to some of my early rankings for this on the score sheet. Acting, directing, and story are of a possible 2 points each. And overall, I would have to say the acting was serviceable, but because there was no performance in here that made me go, well, actually, it did. Between Iman Vellani and Zawe Ashton, I think I would actually give the acting 1.5. Now, I can't give it full points because there's some questionable kind of off-the-cuff kind of MCU slapstickiness going on in there that's kind of like, but it is what it is. Surprisingly high grade for acting. Directing. Nia DaCosta, who did the Candyman reboot. Technically, the movie was well done. Setting up shot compositions and stuff like that. Now, this movie did suffer a bit from the CGI stage effect that's happening. This is happening in a lot of comic book movies and a lot in the MCU, where you can tell, okay, yeah, with this shot, yeah, you would expect that to be on visual effects, that she's not really there, her face is just slapped on a CGI character. But there's other shots where why you would say, well, why is that background? Why is, like, yeah, like here. Okay, so why can't you go and find a cavern or a cliff face and just photograph that and put that in the background? Why does the background there need to be CG? You can tell that she's just standing on a CGI set here, and there's a lot of that. And does that impact the story? Yes, it does. For me, it felt like it was starting to take me out of it a little bit. That it was kind of like, this movie's a lot of CGI sets, and it's a directing style. I think that they are constrained that they have to do this way. I'm waiting for the one MCU director to come in and say, well, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go out there and we're going to find an actual location. We're going to shoot it, and then we'll use that as a background plate. And we're not going to have the CGI set feeling. We're going to totally get rid of all of that. Story. It's short. It's an hour and 40 minutes, guys. Story is serviceable. I said that it was better than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It was definitely better than Thor: Love and Thunder. It's not as good as Guardians of the Galaxy 3. No, it's not. Story-wise, I do want to see more of what's going on with Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. Sorry, did I just spoil something there? We'll have to figure it out. And then, because it's a one-off type villain, we're not going to get that much more. That sucks. I don't know. Maybe we still can. It really all depends. I got to figure out what other people are saying. So let's go over to the tomato meter here and take a look at what the buzz is about as of 10:47 here. 61% by critics, 85% by the audience. And that's based on mostly Thursday night previews here, guys. I'm not as high as the audience. And this movie is tracking to not do well at the box office. We've seen that for a couple of weeks here. And one thing here I want to reiterate to you guys is that I was on that bandwagon too. I was like, I don't even know if I really want to watch this movie. It's going to suck anyway. And you've seen other channels out there where, despite the fact that they say that they're not being biased, and they make all these videos that, oh, Captain Marvel sucks. I don't like being preached to about my manhood or anything like that. It's like, get out of here with that. I'm somebody that will give it a fair shake. And I gave the Marvels a fair shake. And I understood what it was trying to do cohesively as its movie and its setup. It delivered it, but I totally understand that it's a standard Marvel kind of, here are the good guys, here's the bad guy. The bad guy's going to get defeated. There's going to be a small twist and lead up to something else in the universe. And that's pretty much what you're going to get. Yes, that's what you got with the Marvels. But there's some interesting character pieces in there that I liked, because I wanted to see how Miss Marvel interacts with Captain Marvel. You know, I want to see now that Teyonah Parris's Monica Rambeau is working with Nick Fury. How's that all going to work together and stuff? So as an MCU fan, I think there's a little bit more there to gravitate onto. As casual fans, casual moviegoers, I don't know if there's going to be enough. It'll be a little misplaced. I've seen others describe it. I think Sean Chandler said it best, where it felt like this was a sequel to a movie that we didn't see yet, right? There was a lot of in-between stuff that happens between Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel that I could see that, yes, you would felt like there was some storyline that was missing there. That I wish could have been a little bit more focused on. And I think that would have been Captain Marvel 2 if we got a proper Captain Marvel 2. But no, this is the Marvels, guys. It's got a post-credit scene, which is worthwhile sticking around for. Post-credit scene that I saw was worthwhile sticking around for. Let's see what some of the critics are saying over here. San Diego Reader didn't like it. Star Brie Larson seems to be pretty checked out here, almost as checked out as the Jokers, who came up with the idea of once again tapping the Beastie Boys for the soundtrack. Hey, they use a starship, or they're on a spaceship. Let's use Intergalactic. Yeah, the soundtrack, the song choices, and the song choices for the first Captain Marvel movie didn't really work for me either. Was I bothered with the off-the-cuff kind of thing for Intergalactic? Not really. That didn't, whatever. ABC News didn't like it. Poised between goofy and god-awful and plagued with rewrites and reshoots, the 33rd entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in serious disrepair. The MCU, once the spawner of glories, is stuck in a rut. The time to rethink is now. Well, yeah, they've heard that. I understand that Kevin Feige and the rest, they realize they're in trouble. They've just put out a whole bunch of they've oversaturated the market, and it's cost them, and that's coming back to bite them. So this old regime, that's where all these movies and stuff that were made and shows that were made under that old banner are going to get dialed back now. But we've got to finish this run out of all of this. Marvels is in there, Echo is in there, Loki, whatever, this season 2 was part of all this, and they've got to start to realign this thing, because there is some good, interesting dynamics that do happen here between Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel that I do think is worth exploring. And now to figure out how Miss Marvel is going to figure into that now too, now that she's got both. Sorry, spoiler, right? I want to see how that works out, and they do open the door for that later on down the line. So I do want to see where that goes. It just makes me realize that, okay, I gotta go. I have to watch Hawkeye. If you never watched Hawkeye, then some scenes may not make sense to you, right? I don't know. So let's take a look at some people who did like it. Boston Globe. In a universe where the movie... Let's retake that, James. In a universe where the movies last well over 3 hours, the 105-minute runtime of the Marvels It's as welcoming as it is surprising. Yeah, when movies are too long now. It was nice to have it nice and concise. I appreciated that tremendously. Uh, Anybody else? Let's take a look at all the critics' reviews here. I want to see if anybody else jumps off the page at me. Um, Campia. I usually don't listen to him because he's got a really weird taste in movies. The strengths of the film's character, chemistry, humor, and Miss Marvel overcome the multiple weaknesses of the film. Yeah, certain cringy sequences. Yes, there's definitely. I grant you that there's definitely cringy sequences in there that'll be like, why are they doing that? But there's some also really good stuff. Weak villain pacing to deliver mildly enjoyable film. I wouldn't say weak villain. I just wanted to see more of the villain. And I wanted to see that villain get stretched out more than for just one movie. Uh, I wanted to see her get stretched out for more because what she was doing. There was enough story there that would have allowed for that to happen, and we didn't get that. All right, so let's finish up my ranking here and see where I finally land on the Marvels. Cinematography and score are out of a possible 1 point each. Cinematography was serviceable for what it is, but for all the green screen stuff, I've got to knock it down to just being serviceable. The score, intergalactic. I felt like at some points a little bit like the final episode of Miss Marvel, where the score didn't really help anything. I think the score here, if it was better utilized, it would have accented the scenes a lot better. Watchability factor. Let's go into that. If you're an MCU fan, you'll want to watch it at least once. If you're a Brie Larson fan, you will want to watch it once. If you're a Miss Marvel fan, you will want to watch it. So is that a 6.5 for the Marvels for saying that something that you liked it? But I'll tell you this, the Marvels does have some rewatchability factors because, as I said, I will watch Zawe Ashton in almost anything again. Yeah. Directing. Can I give directing? Was the editing tight? Can I give it any more for directing? I think I will. 1.5 for directing. Story had some really good ideas. It did. 6.5 for the Marvels is what I'm thinking I'm landing on here, guys. I don't know if I could really stretch to give it any more. But I would watch it again, and I kind of do want to watch it with you guys when it comes out on Disney Plus. It feels very detached. You don't need to have watched Captain Marvel to figure out what's going on in this movie either. But it just helps to have all that catalog underneath your belt to understand where it's going. So, 6.5 for the Marvels. I think that's like the middle, right? That's between people who really didn't like it and people who seem to have loved it because that tomato meter score, 65 by the audience, 6.1 by critics. So I'm a little bit higher than the critics because I was a little bit more forgiving on it. But it's not the train wreck of a movie that people will have you believe. It's not the worst writing either. I've seen worse writing. So if you go in with that mentality expecting to be something terrible and you're like, well, where was the big terrible things? Yeah, that was cringy. And if you point at that one scene that is cringy and say, well, that ruined the entire movie for me, that totally took me out of it and I don't want to see anything more like that, then I don't believe you're giving this movie a fair shake, because there's some good stuff going on here. There is, and it does oddly propel the MCU universe forward. Yeah, all this stuff when they're trying to figure out when they're jumping powers, like when they use their powers to switch bodies and stuff. I thought it would be used in such a way that it would be like, well, why are they doing that? It makes sense why it's happening, and I like how they figure out how to use that to their advantage. They actually show them trying to use that to their advantage, and they use it to beat the bad guys and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of fun, man. I liked it. I thought it was I'll watch the Marvels again. I'll definitely watch more of the Marvels over a Captain Marvel. I say, now I kind of do want to watch a Captain Marvel sequel. And as far as people saying that she was dialing it in, Brie Larson, I'm not having that either. She wasn't. There was a couple of scenes in here where it's kind of like she goes and says, "Oh, I don't like to be called that name," and she says it in the same way in tone that people didn't like in Endgame. But then the story unravels to a certain point where you realize, oh yeah, here's why she doesn't like to be called that name. The story unfolds and gives you the information. So I respect that. You get that. And if you're just gonna overlook like the story coming back on itself and filling in the gaps and telling and completing its arc just because of one bad scene that you didn't like, then I didn't. I'll just say that I don't think you gave it a fair shake. Where will it land in the box office? It's going to be number one this weekend, but next week it runs into Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because we are in a situation where big movies like Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon that comes out in 2 weeks, they're $200 million, just like this. People liked or like Killers of the Flower Moon, but it's a bomb. What's another movie recently where you liked it, but it just you didn't like it, like a movie that you didn't like, but it did well. Exorcist Believer was a terrible movie, but it's done well enough that it's a box office success. This is going to be hard to tell because of there's going to be that backlash of people going into this of, oh, I don't like Miss Marvel. Oh, I don't like Brie Larson. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like girls being in the lead role kind of thing. It's like, get out of here with that stuff. If you're like that kind of a person and that kind of mentality, oh, I don't like social commentary in my movies. And then you're going to go out and see the movie anyway just to make a video about it and rant about it online. People are, they're going to catch on to that and they're going to realize that that's just your shtick. You complain about things and you complain about misogyny or whatever, misandry. It gets old, man. It gets old. And I understand there's the audience there for it. But for me, asking me to trust your reviews about that, then I don't. So anyway, I would say give the Marvels a fair shake. I understand it's going to have its criticisms, but I enjoyed it. 6.5 out of 10 for the Marvels, guys. Are you going to go and see it? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. If you like this kind of stuff, hey, we do movie news stuff here throughout the week. There are my other social media handles. If you want to talk some spoilers, you want to talk about that post-credit scene, remember they dropped the final trailer, and then we're like, oh, who is this person? Who is this person? If you put your money down on it, I think I got it right. I think maybe I got it right. And that post-credit scene was kind of cool, man. It's just a mid-credit scene. All right. What else can you find here on the channel? Well, on top of my review for this, we've got reviews for Priscilla and Five Nights at Freddy's. We're watching Survivor Season 45 and Hell's Kitchen Season 22 right now up on the channel. If you like that kind of stuff, come join us for that throughout the week. We've watched the whole series of The Fall of House of Usher. And of course, then, you know, we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines. If you like movies, if you like talking about TV series and stuff, this is the channel for you here on Mirror Domains. I'll see you next time. Right here on Mirror Domain. All right, let's open it up and take some live comments in the live chat. All right. Arglass says the locations and internals were real. Yeah, the coastlines and everything, right? Bifer says, hey, how's it going? Okay, so I understand there's going to be retractors of the MCU that'll be like, well, I don't like the way that things are going. So they're going in with this preset, this mentality of it's gonna suck. Oh, I saw something that I don't like. It sucks. Are you gonna give the rest of the movie a fair shake? And I think you're not gonna get that kind of measured response from people out there who do the clickbaity kind of stuff. that I don't want to be a part of. I thought about it. I know I could sell that stuff. Ooh, I hate when somebody tells me how I'm supposed to think. And it's like, well, then why are you looking online for reviews about stuff? That doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, let's move on to opening up this week. The Marvels is opening up this week, guys, and you've got your chances to go out and see it in the AVX theaters, in the IMAX, D-Box. What are you going to go see it in? Journey to Bethlehem. Yeah, I'm not going to be going to see that. Taylor Swift's movie is still in the theaters this weekend, guys. Five Nights at Freddy's is still going along. If you haven't seen Priscilla and you want a slower burn type of thing, I would recommend going to see that. Freelance is still playing. A movie that's got like 0% on the tomato meter. Killers of the Flower Moon, Paw Patrol, Last Suspect, Mandarin Chinese, huh? What else is opening up? Journey to Bethlehem is definitely going to be getting the Sunday crowd. After Death is still playing. Killers of the Flower Moon, just Paw Patrol, huh? Yeah. I don't think that that's absolutely everything, though, because if we go over to the Art House Theater, that Paul Giamatti movie, The Holdovers, opens up today, and Anatomy of a Fall is still playing. I need to maybe go out and see that. It's a French movie, right, where a woman gets accused of killing her husband. Holdovers, though. Actually, I think I might go out and see this one at the weekend. This is that Paul Giamatti. I hear there's a good performance by him in it that may get him awards consideration. Alexander Payne directs. That's also opening up in wider release. So we'll have to see how that fares at the box office. We look at last week's Five Nights at Freddy's will still be number 2, but I think Marvel's will be number 1. That's a given. Will that Journey to Bethlehem? You know, those religious movies do crack into the top. They do. Like Radical is a religious one, right? No? Oh no, that's not that one. Which one was I thinking of? The Marsh King's Daughter. No, that one's not going to do. What Happens Later, I think, is one. Is that one? No, I don't know. But yeah, Marvel's number 1. Five Nights at Freddy's number 2. I think Taylor Swift will be number 3, and then hopefully Priscilla beats Killers of the Flower Moon. That Killers needs to finish its run out. Yeah, I'll just see. But those are your choices for this week, guys. What are you going to go out and see? Any other foreign films that I should be aware of? Oh yeah, The Killer up on Netflix opens up, right? The Killer, David Fincher. Now, I normally would watch that with you guys straight up.
It was very obvious to us that
right?
was.
But maybe we're gonna have to save that for Sunday, or maybe Monday. We'll watch The Killer. Brief Sexuality, huh? Michael Fassbender and Tilda Swinton. Fassbender plays a contract killer, but it's directed by Fincher. It's just under 2 hours. We will be watching it here, guys, so trust me. We'll give it a fair shake. If you do go and see it, Bifer or Arglass, let me know if you liked The Killer. All right, so that's opening up this week. All right. The actors' strike just wrapped up. So we've got a bunch of release dates that we need to address. Deadpool 3, Captain America 4 are among Marvel release date changes, just talking about the Captain Marvel, right? So, yeah. It's going to take like a month or so for things to start to iron out, because what happened is, because the writer strike, because of the actor strike, things got delayed because people just couldn't be working on it. So now that things are allowed to be working, we're going to have to iron out people's schedules. People contracted to be working on something next year at a certain time will be having to shuffle things around a little bit. So let's take a look at what's been happening here as confirmed just as of now. Captain America 4 New World Order had held a July date and is now going to be pushed to February 14th, 2025. Wow. But I thought it was mostly all done, no? I thought Captain America 4 was done. Why are you pushing that a year? I don't understand that. And I still think that I don't know. You just... Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts are still made under that old regime. Remember, we just talked about this in the Marvel's review. That old regime of kind of like more is better kind of thing. Um, we're not going to get that kind of hard reset thing that we need to have in the MCU to change directions, to change up the formula. Because I think we're going to have a one-off villain in Captain America 4. We're going to have a one-off villain for Thunderbolts that won't mean anything. So it's kind of like those movies themselves become meaningless. What do we really need to know from Captain America 4? Yes, we know that Sam takes up the mantle. We saw that in the series that you already gave this. So what's Captain America 4 really accomplishing, right? I don't know. Uh, Thunderbolts. Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan has moved to July 25th, 2025. It's supposed to come out in 2024. Blade is now November 7th, 2025. Has been delayed. Well, they haven't even shot it. From what I understand, they still haven't locked down the script. So Blade, Thunderbolts, that makes sense. But guys, Mahershala Ali is going to be 51 years old when Blade comes out. I don't see that happening. I think they're going to recast. They have to. Marvel just has one film in the 2024 calendar, and now it's Deadpool because everything got shoved out. So Deadpool 3 is still slated for 2024, which is good. They need to keep at least something. Disney pushed Mufasa, The Lion King, December 2024 to July 2024. Back from July 25th to December 20th. So Mufasa comes out at Christmas time. Marvel has 4 features in 2024, including Fantastic Four, previously set. Yeah, they better keep on with that Fantastic Four. What? Fantastic Four, no, they haven't even shot that. That's coming on 2025. What are you talking about? Yeah, Deadpool 3 is now July 26th instead of May. But that's fine. Um, Deadpool 3 was, yeah, that should be able to keep on track. Other shifting dates. Sandman, Abbott Elementary for TV. Sandman gets to pick up for its season 2. So on top of that, other series like Stranger Things will be picked up, and they need to get that on that sooner rather than later. Millie Bobby Brown wants that sooner rather than later to get that all wrapped up so that she can move on to other projects. Could be resuming in a couple of days. Yeah, because they've all been sitting on their hands, and I think Stranger Things, because of the kids of their ages and stuff, you don't want 23-something-year-olds running around pretending to be high school students. But that's what's happening anyway. So yeah, that's what you're going to get for the 5th season. We'll be watching it here because I am fans. I'm a big hardcore fan of Stranger Things, so we'll be watching that. Yeah, Sandman. I think we will be watching Sandman season 2 here on the channel. Maybe we should maybe when season 2 of Sandman comes out, we'll watch season 1 together. I think it deserves that shake. Because Sandman was one where I was like, it was a rough first couple of episodes, but the second half of the season really picked up for me. I want to see that a lot more. Hourglass says Nicolas Cage should be out now. Yeah, that movie with him where he's like the stepfather or something, right? The dam, the backlog, the movies and TV shows is going to burst. The ending of the strike irons out details. Yeah, maybe more for streaming platforms. Yeah, and I even suspect that some of these dates that they're saying this early might get shifted around too. So I wouldn't say that these are exactly concrete. But the Deadpool one, I will. I don't understand why you're pushing it a whole year like Captain America 4, because it's pretty much almost done from what I understand. Unless you're going to retool it with a whole bunch of reshoots, which I don't know. I don't know. But some movies aren't going to happen, though, apparently. John Cena's Coyote versus Acme movie filmed movie after filming was completed. So this movie was done. Like some of them are done. They're sitting on the shelves. Beetlejuice 2 is pretty much done. That's still going to come out. The studio no longer plans to release Coyote vs. Acme, a live action animation hybrid starring John Cena, which was completed filming in 2022. So that's going the Batgirl route. It's getting written off for tax reasons. They realize that, no, it just doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good, so we might as well cut it. And I expect to see a lot more of that too. I think Salem's Lot, they were saying that Salem's Lot was going to come out on um, HBO Max, but I think that one's also going to get this treatment of getting scrapped. And you know what they should do? They should just scrap that Rachel Zegler Snow White. It's a huge disaster. I don't know why they're continuing to run towards it, but it's gonna it's just yeah. We'll be learning about these projects that are going to get scrapped or get pushed around to the point that we're not going to see them as this strike unfolds and the chips land now, right? We'll figure it out. All right, let's talk about that Highlander reboot. Yeah, that one is also going to get release date confirmed. It was supposed to be 2025, right? Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill eyeing 2026 release. Wait, it's not even 2024 release. Are you yet? Are you saying that you can't get your affairs in order to get it out in 2025? 2026. Ah, the long-awaited Highlander reboot takes another major step forward. I say step backward. It just means that the project is not as ready as I thought it would be. This was announced years ago, man. The script should be done by now. And you're saying 2026, so you're saying still 3 years away? 24, 25, 26? I see three fingers here, guys. I know mathematically say, well, it's only 2 years. No, I see three fingers. 24, 25, and 26. The long-awaited Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill now reported has a release window aiming for 2026. Fans, yeah, 2026. But now that this will be going forward, hopefully, hopefully this will get the ball rolling on this. But 2026, I guess it's just something that we gotta. And whatever happened to his Warhammer movie? Henry Cavill was supposed to be working on a Warhammer movie, right? What's going on with that? All right, what's next? Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors out there. He's in my top 5 right now, with Del Toro, Cameron, uh, Nolan. Who else is in my top 5? Denis Villeneuve is definitely up there. Yeah, he's in my top 5. Fincher, maybe. Yeah. I can't wait for Highlander as long as The Crow comes out in early 2024. And The Crow is supposed to be, that's all done too. That's in the canon. That is coming out with Skarsgård. So I do want to check that out. But let's talk about Denis Villeneuve. What's he working on? Cleopatra could be next for Denis Villeneuve with Zendaya. Well, they just worked together on the Dune series. So cool. Denis Villeneuve, great director. So I pulled this because I wanted to make sure. Remember when Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot were going to be working on a Cleopatra movie? But that got scrapped, and then somebody else came in was going to direct that one. I think Gal Gadot's still attached to a Cleopatra movie, so I guess that this one with Denis Villeneuve would be something totally different. That's what I wanted to confirm with this. Could be shooting sometime next year. Not only that, but the report seems to indicate that Denis Villeneuve will be reuniting with Zendaya, attached to star as Cleopatra. It adds that Timothée Chalamet has been offered the role of Octavius, and Daniel Craig is being eyed for Caesar. Very interesting. Well, yeah, that's very interesting, but take it with a grain of salt. This film is to be written by David Scarpa. Okay. Scarpa had previously said that the film will be treated more as a bloody political thriller than a lengthy historical epic. Bloody political thriller. Et tu, Brute? Yeah, with Cleopatra, instead of doing the movie as the prestige picture, the 3 hour, lots of pageantry, people with fans and English accents and all that stuff, we treat it as a political thriller, dirty, bloody, lots of people swearing and having sex, all of that other stuff. Just treat it as a 2 hour lean, mean political thriller full of assassinations, just going to opposite directions of the way you think the movie is going to go. Wow. Yeah. So they go on to talk about that Gal Gadot one. She would change the narrative about Cleopatra. This woman is so ahead of her time, Gadot said. So it's going to be different. It'll be different than the Gadot version if it's going to be more of a political one. Denis Villeneuve can handle that. With Sicario, we saw that, right? Get back to that grittier kind of storytelling. He's just on the fantastical with Dune. Blade Runner 24 is still a masterpiece, in my opinion. So is Arrival. Great. I'll watch anything Denis Villeneuve puts forward. All right. That's enough praise about Denis Villeneuve. Let's talk. Oh, God. Let's go to the polar opposite of somebody I don't like that much. Elon Musk. Elon Musk biopic in the works at A24 with, oh, God, Darren Aronofsky. Why, dude? I do like Darren Aronofsky's works. I know that it's not for everybody, but I like The Wrestler, and that's a masterpiece. I even like Mother, but a lot of that had to do with Jennifer Lawrence. She carried that film on her back, and just wow. But Elon, why do we need an Elon Musk? He's not dead yet. Wait till he's dead, maybe, and then we'll like. He's still blundering right now. He's making one of the biggest blunders of our era by crashing Twitter into the ground. Why do like? Don't you want that to be part of your movie? Oh, so the Musk promotes. Oh, what's it going to be about? Is SpaceX? What I don't want to see is a puff piece about Elon Musk saying, "Oh, he's such a great businessman." Oh, yeah. I don't need to see a puff piece. But with Darren Aronofsky, I know people like and hold him in the regards. Hmm. Do you guys want to see an Elon Musk biopic? Ah, yeah, Black Swan was great. And I know a lot of people like Requiem for a Dream, but I'm with them that it's a hard movie to watch because it's about addiction. I like The Whale. I know a lot of people had problems with it, but I liked it. Next, John Wick 5. John Wick Chapter 5. We knew that this was being worked on. John Wick 5 is now being written. Lionsgate's confirming that it's somebody's mad away typing. And we knew that from the producer saying that there's more there to tell. I kind of preferred that they would have left it at Chapter 4 because it was poetic. It was poetic. Will it be a prequel? I don't know. Could it happen between John Wick 1 and 2? Have it kind of like a side thing where we learn about why he becomes Baba Yaga? I don't know. Like those backstories. I don't know. I feel like his story is done. I just don't want you to keep on milking it. On the Wick side, we got multiple spin-offs with John Wick 5. Joe Drake said, we started work on it right when the writer's strike started, and we've gotten back to it work as soon as it ended. Yeah. There's a John Wick anime series also in the works. Guys, now you're beginning to oversaturate it. Animated series. Ish. And that's one franchise that you can't taint by having too many. You had your great swan song with Chapter 4. Still one of my favorite movies of the year. It's in the top 10 right now, still. Yeah, I really like Chapter 4. But yeah, we know that that's happening. What else we got? Jared Leto. What's going on with this? I saw this headline. This is crazy. Jared Leto becomes the first person to scale the New York City's iconic Empire State Building to completion. What? Just like what was it? The human fly? Did he have the suction cups going up, or did he just? What the heck's going on here? And why did he do it? Um, we crashed. The building is a testament to all the things that can be done in the world if we put our minds to it, Leto explains, which is largely the inspiration behind the most recent album. It's the end of the world, but it's a beautiful day. Oh, so this is for his new music album, November 9th, 30 Seconds to Mars. Jared Leto climbs the state building earlier this morning. Okay, we can turn off the audio, James. So there he is. There he actually did it. So he didn't have the suction cups, but he was just climbing up with. Imagine if you had just signed him on to do a project and you're sitting there as an insurance person and you're like, for God's sakes, don't break your ankle. Don't pull a hammy or rip out your quads. But yeah, that's perilous, man. That's peril. Wow. Okay. It's an impressive feat. I don't see why, but okay. Leto, if that's your bag. Oh, he's got a big tour coming up for 30 Seconds to Mars. Are you 30 Seconds to Mars fans out there? Are they playing in Toronto, Budweiser, August 12th, 2024? This is a fun little curious headline. All right, guys, what's next? Oh, we got hit or miss. Let's do some hit or miss. If it's a hit, we'll move on. If it's a miss, we'll just. Ugh. Christopher Nolan, one of my favorite directors, as I said. Nolan says that the feud between Warner Bros. And him is water under the bridge. Yeah, when Warner Bros. Said that year that all the movies are going to go straight onto streaming as in theaters as well, Nolan was like, nope, I'm taking my bag and I'm out of here, guys. But apparently they've done, Warner Bros. Has extended some olive branches that it looks like Nolan has accepted, which is good. Yeah, you don't want to step on the feet of your most talented creators out there, right? Like Nolan definitely is. Nolan is somebody where it's like it doesn't matter which project he does next, everybody's going to go out and see it, right? Um, James Cameron's like that. Fincher, I think Fincher's kind of losing it a little bit though with all of these straight to streaming stuff. It's like Mank. Mank really hurt him. Even though it was nominated. How did that hurt him, James? Because people just didn't watch it. People didn't care. You got to make stuff that people want to see or that people resonate to. And like at the beginning of the year, yeah, nobody was really clamoring to see a movie about Oppenheimer, but the way that he executed it was kind of like, oh, wow, you got to check that out. That was really well done. So that just goes to the talents of Christopher Nolan, right? Piper says Mank was awesome. Yeah, I know that a lot of people like Mank. I just, for me, it was just like, for me, it was his weakest film. I would watch Alien 3 over Mank any day. Next, talking about aliens. Alien TV series resumes filming next year. So, yeah, on top of that Fade Alvarez movie with Kaylee Spaney, we're getting a TV series. Noah Hawley, creator of Fargo, is doing that. Okay. Because of the strike, I guess, wrapping up, they can get that back underway. I don't know if it's going to be attached to the Ripley universe or what the heck's going on with that. they'll be aiming for a 2025 premiere. All he said, the plan right now is to go back in January and to be shooting in February. It looks like to shoot in July or so, which puts the air date in the first half of 2025. Able to, yeah. Okay, so back on 2025. 8 episode season of an Alien TV series. Huh. To live in the world that was created by these directors and storytellers, that raises the hair on the back of your head to walk into the set where you feel like you're on the Nostromo. Oh my God, I'm in live with this movie. No, I don't know. It's gonna be on Disney Plus, right, or something. And it's gonna be kind of like, I don't know if it's gonna have that grit that an Alien movie or Alien series needs to have, because we need to see chest bursters. We need to see the gruesomeness. It's the gruesomeness that's the scary factor of it, right? I don't know if the TV series will be able to portray that. Venom 3 gets a November release date as film heads back into production. Yeah, I think we talked about that yesterday, right? That Venom 3 is now going to be November 2024. Sony. November 8th, 2024. So Venom 3 will be next fall. Yeah. Hunter Schafer responds to fan casting as Zelda. Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the week. Zelda live action movie, guys. It's going to be pretty cool. I don't know who this Hunter Schafer was. Did I see her any other thing? Could she be playing Zelda? Oh, when you look at her compared here, she's got pointy ears. Maybe. I could see that. This as long as they don't kind of shoehorn in some kind of retcon. But they did Princess Peach well. As long as she gets kidnapped by Ganon by somehow. Like, yeah. At least have that somewhat of a nod towards that kind of storyline. She looks like she could pull off the role, this Hunter Schafer. But as we get closer to when this project comes into fruition, the live action one, we'll see who's playing who. Keep my eye on that one. This headline caught my eye. How social media killed the movie star. Well, what also killed the movie star was just accessibility. And maybe that's because of phones and social media. We can see people now out wandering around. So if you see like Lawrence Fishburne walking down the street, you film him and you just film him walking because he doesn't respond. Some stars don't respond to people when they're out in their normal lives. They just want to be left alone, kind of thing. Like you even seen Keanu Reeves sometimes say, "Whoa, guys, easy. I'm just getting on the plane here. Please, please." It's kind of like, yeah, dude, I understand. But anyway, what is this article talking about? The internet broke down the barriers between stars and fans. And then we're also learning that some of the stars are not as nice people as you would like to think. Younger actors must embrace social media to promote their work. Yes. The studio system helps extinguish the star power of actors. Well, yeah, that too. There was something about before we had phones and everything, and the only thing that you could see your favorite star on was like, say, a magazine or something, right? So you didn't get to actually get to see them, or like on a TV show. So you weren't always in their view. So you could follow someone like somebody famous, like a singer or somebody, and you'll follow their Instagram before the shows. You get to see them walking around. You get to see their food, their dogs, their cats, whatever. And it's kind of like that awe feeling of seeing somebody. Yeah, I would get it. If I saw Taylor Swift, I'd be like, wow. Yeah, I'm sure there's a big, like, if I need to sit down and read this a little bit more. It's a curious subject. I am. Streaming didn't help the movie star. No, it didn't. Guys, I'm just putting on my makeup. Guys, do you really have to photograph me picking up my dog's excrement? Really? Guys, do you have to do that? Please. Give me a moment here. Yeah. Anyway, we're running a little bit of overtime here, but let's take a look at the Twitterverse, see if we missed anything. Nominees for Best Song Written for Visual Media at the Grammys. Okay. Just Ken. No, Peaches. Peaches is the best right now. I like Peaches over Just Ken. Trolls opens up November 17th, guys. So that opens up next week against Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. And that's going to really bite into the rest of the box offices for like Marvels and stuff. Five Nights at Freddy's, that'll be over. Trolls, and then the week after that, you got Napoleon and Wish. And Wish is going to bury Napoleon. Napoleon's going to struggle. But I'll watch Napoleon. All right, guys. Who would you like to see cast as Elon Musk? Just cast him as I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care. Because you're not going to find an actor that looks like him. Leonardo DiCaprio was reportedly paid $40 million. See, now that's the big problem right there. As a filmmaker, yes, Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor. $40 million for a streaming movie. Sorry, Martin, but hire somebody else to do it. That's what I would say. Because he didn't put the butts in the seats. He didn't. Yeah, we just talked about this. The age of the movie star is pretty much done. Very few people have that power to say, oh, that star's in it. I'm going to go see it because of that person's going to be in it. Like even Tom Cruise is starting to lose that a little bit. We saw that with Mission Impossible. So there's very few people that are like that now. It's cool that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's in this movie, but I'm not seeing it because of The Rock. Right? Richard Durand looks like Elon. Ooh, good call, Ardglass. Let's pull up that. Yeah. No, that's that. Oh, Kevin Durand. Is that how you mean? Yeah. No, that's it. That's who you'd have to play him. He's playing Elon Musk. That's who I would cast. All right, next. Saoirse Ronan, Andrew Scott. All right, guys. Saltburn also opens up next week. That's right, too. But that'll be a smaller release. No one's expecting that to be a big blockbuster. But it's got Barry Keoghan and Scott Jacob Elordi, which I want to see in as well. So, Saltburn, hopefully that opens up near me because I do want to see that. Still got a lot of movies here to go in November. Brie Larson shared a photo of Captain Marvel. All right, guys, I'm running behind. Yeah. All right, so that'll be it for me today, guys. I'll cut out and post up the review and stuff. I'm gonna have my breakfast now and then head out. I think we're gonna do a meet and greet with Ardglass Vikings later on. So I'm gonna send you a text. I'm gonna have my breakfast and do my walk. So we'll figure out what's gonna happen with that. All right. Maybe I'll post a picture of us together on the YouTube channel. All right. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Enjoy your weekend. It's Remembrance Day tomorrow. I should have been wearing my poppy. All right. Anyway, see you next time on Monday. See what is going to happen there for the box office and how well the Marvels did. Peace, fellas. Yeah. Enjoy your weekend. Bye for Ardglass, Chris Schober.